Hello and welcome in this next video about Ezoic website integration. In the previous video, I added a website to my Ezoic account, a website that was only monetized with Google AdSense and hosted and served by my own server. In the previous video, I added that website to Ezoic. I set up the DNS integration on my Gandhi account. And I was waiting for the DNS integration to be fully completed, which is now the case as I received an email that tells me that the site speed accelerator is ready and I can use a page speed. So page speed is the former name for Ezoic Leap product, which we will see now. And if I go now to my Ezoic dashboard, I can see that my website is now fully integrated. This step that was missing before has now been completed. So the DNS, the domain name system, has taken this change into account, this change of server that will be serving my web pages for this website, as it will now be served by Ezoic CDN, Content Delivery Network, and not by my own server again. So Ezoic will first request my server for a fresh copy from time to time, so once a month, or whenever necessary, and will serve this copy to my website visitors after having optimized it, and we will see now how to actually optimize them. So let's go to this step, turn on site speed, which is actually very important at the moment because soon the core web vitals will be a signal for ranking on Google. So at the beginning, when you first integrate your website, you must be in this situation. So you have nothing. So let's turn on the site speed accelerator, which is actually Ezoic Leap. Let's go back to home and turn on Leap. So site speed accelerator is the previous version, and now let's join Leap. So Leap is actually already activated. So what you can do right away is, for example, join the leaderboard. I don't want to anonymize my domain name. I have no issue with that. So I will be able to compare my website with other websites that are using Leap technology and see how fast I am or not, and what the other websites are doing better than me. And also how can I do actually the same to be as fast as them. So all websites using Leap that join the leaderboard are ranked amongst each other, and the ones with the global, so average fastest response time, so Core Web Vitals results are ranked first. Now this loading takes some time. What's happening? Okay, I don't know why it takes some time. So it is loading. We can see here the progress bar on top of the site. Does it mean it is really progressing, or it is only stuck? So again, this is a website that hasn't been using Ezoic before. It is new on the platform and should hopefully be faster now. Okay, I am now ranked on the leaderboard, and of course at the beginning I am not visible anywhere because no data has been recorded yet. So Ezoic Leap will record the average, the performance of my website, and will show the average here with a score from 1 to 100. So going back to Ezoic Leap, now we can set it up. So let's go to core vitals. So here later we will see the core vitals of my website, but at the moment nothing has been recorded because I just turned it on and no data yet has been recorded by the system. It might take a day or two for the data to be processed and visible in the system, so do not panic if you don't see them right away. This is not real-time information, this is processed information based on past recordings, so it's not real-time. But what we can do is go to the optimization settings, and get started. Okay, so right away we probably want to activate everything. So we want to optimize CSS. We want the loading of style sheet and fonts to be optimized. We want the critical CSS to be in the head tag. So this means that when the web page is requested, the important CSS will be already included in the HTML, and whatever is not meaningful for what you see on screen when you first arrive on the page will be loaded later. That's perfect. Remove unused CSS. Yes, I don't want useless CSS to be displayed on my website. Remove unused CSS by page. So this is not recommended because it means that for each page, different CSS will be created, and well, in most cases, it's not very useful. It can even make your site a little bit slower because it costs so much computing for not so much result. Then optimize fonts. Yes, we want to optimize fonts. Allow slow loading fonts. No, actually, because I'm not using any external fonts, I actually removed them to have better Core Web Vital score not long ago, so I don't want. Preload fonts, okay. And custom CSS I don't have, perfect. So on CSS I want everything. Then on minifying, yes, I want to minify everything possible. So minify the code by removing whatever is not necessary. Yes, minify JavaScript. Yes, but again, I'm using as little JavaScript as possible, but that sure is a good thing to do. Minify CSS. Yes, I want to minify CSS. So meaning it will remove extra spaces or things like that in the code that are at the end making extra data to be downloaded from all your visitors, is slowing down your page delivery, your website pages rendering, and is using more electricity, more power, more everything, more bandwidth for actually no reason, because it's probably only it's easier to look like when you are developing, to look at, to read when you are developing, but it is meaningless for web browsers and for visitors that are anyway not going to check your source code. So we want to minify everything. Minify HTML, yes, the same. So it will like remove comments, remove extra spaces, anything that is not really useful for page rendering. So yes, I want to do that. I don't want to keep anything. For me, it doesn't matter. I just want my site as fast as possible, lightning fast. Regarding images, yes, actually, I want Ezoic to optimize images on my behalf. So it will optimize the loading, serving, and sizing of images. Yes, so it will give the visitors the image in the size they need to display it. So there will be no extra information, and also no information loss. The images will be lazy loaded, so it means that when you browse, so here in one of my articles, it has a lot of pictures, but these pictures actually will be only loaded if the user is going down on the page. So it's not loaded at the beginning. At the beginning, only what is useful for the web page is loaded, and pictures at the bottom of the page are only loaded if necessary. Next-gen formats. Yes, I want my pictures to be converted automatically by Ezoic to WebP format, which is a special format, image format that is lighter than a PNG or a JPEG or GIF, so it's much better. I want to resize images when possible, yes, and preload background images. I don't have background images, but maybe one day I will, so let's turn this up. And script execution, yes, I want to optimize the loading and execution of scripts and also ads. So it includes the scripts, the JavaScript and stuff I have in my website, which is none actually because I don't have any, but also the ads. So Ezoic will be allowed to optimize ads. Okay, perfect. Script delay, yes, let's run scripts after at the end. So depending how your website is built, it might be that the instructions to load and execute the scripts are at the beginning of the page. So it will make the page rendering slower because the browser will be instructed first to work on the scripts. But you probably most likely want your visitors to see your content and to have these scripts like plugins to book flights or maps or anything to be loaded after. You don't want them to leave right away because they see plugins and no content. You most likely want them to see content, eventually have scripts later, and stay for your content. Reduce CPU intensive task. Yes, I want to remove anything that is useless on my scripts. Core jQuery preload. For me, no, because I don't use jQuery, but if you have scripts using jQuery, it's a JavaScript library that is widely used on websites to create interactive content, like load commands or things like this. You might want that. So I don't use jQuery, so I don't need, and load jQuery from CDN. It also is a good thing. So instead of loading the files on your server, it will load them from the jQuery content delivery network, and it will be faster because most likely visitors have already loaded these scripts, these jQuery core scripts, when visiting another website from the jQuery CDN, so they will actually not even need to load it again, which will make your website faster because they already have the scripts and they will not have to download new ones. Okay, so that's it for me on scripts. And static asset cache policy. Yes, I want a static asset cache policy. So this is yes for everything with all rules. Okay, oh no, I don't want more rules. So this is to, I will tell, Ezoic now will tell all my visitors that they should keep my content for a given amount of time, so they don't need like to re-download my website logo at each page and things like this. They can keep assets cached in the browser for an extended period of time. Yes. Content, yes, let's optimize content, optimize the loading of iframes, yes, lazy load iframes and tweets, yes. So for example, if you include iframes, for example, YouTube videos or Instagram posts or Facebook posts, they are most likely included in iframes, which are parts on your web page that load other web pages from other websites. This can drastically reduce page speed, and it's good that they are lazy loaded, so only loaded when they are actually displayed by the visitor, and the content is optimized. Yes. And finally, pre-connect. Yes, so pre-connect, it's a kind of a recently new feature of website. So these are instructions at the beginning of the page instruction in the source code that tells the browser all servers from which assets will be served, and the browser can start as soon as it loads the pages to open the connection with these external servers, and then the downloading of files and files. So it can be, for example, scripts, it can be style sheets, it can be a lot of things that are included on your website will be downloaded faster after pre-connection. So yes. And that's it. We have set up everything, at least for my website. And before activating, go to preview and complete the checklist. Blah, blah, blah. I think for me that's fine because I already used this on my other websites that are using the same content management system. And I'm sure I want to activate all these settings. Yes, let's activate. Okay, now it's activated. So it might take some time for my site to be fully optimized live. That's fine. We can wait. So I have actually turned on Lip. Okay, so it's all good. And technologies, I'm good. And all is good. So now I can go on my website and check it. So let's reload the page. So this is an article. I loaded an article from my website, which is probably more interesting for a page speed test than a homepage. But if we check through this plugin, if it worked. So this is a Chrome plugin that shows the header, the page headers that are parameters only used by the web browser. So in this case, the IP address, this is an Ezoic server because it's not my server, and I can see below right here, this parameter x Ezoic CDN tells me hit, which means that this page has been served by Ezoic CDN and has been cached by Ezoic. So it is not anymore the page from my server, it is the page cached and optimized by Ezoic. Okay, which is perfect. So now let's check results. So if you remember the previous video, I had about 95, 100, 83, and 100 results on Lighthouse. So let's check now what I will have. So on desktop, perfect. Let's run a Lighthouse test. So anyone can, you can all do it in your Chrome browser by opening the developer tools, going to the Lighthouse tab and starting a new test. Okay, now I'm all green, so it's even better with Ezoic than it was before my site on my own server, which already had pretty good results, but was mostly slowed down by Google AdSense scripts. So now that's not the case anymore. My site is not slowed down by AdSense. And yeah, I have pretty good results, 100 SEO. So this actually on this Ezoic has no impact. On best practices, because I had issues coming from the ads from Google Ads, they are not there anymore. Well, one of them is, but this is now from the Ezoic ads. Well, they are not perfect, but it's quite good. Accessibility, this is again only my my design, so there Ezoic has nothing to do with it. And performance, 99. It's not perfect, but it's very close to. So my web page is delivered fast and it's displayed fast, which actually sounds very good. So that's close to perfection. Okay, so that was a very conclusive use of the Ezoic clip, very conclusive integration of this website to Ezoic. And I can now, of course, enjoy all their technologies. So Leap for site speed, but also video hosting to host all my videos on, upload them to Ezoic, and they will appear on Google as if they were hosted on my own website, which is not the case. I will simply upload them on Ezoic, and they will be, as they are already on YouTube as well, they will be listed on Google as hosted and on YouTube and on my own website, which is not an issue at all for YouTube. On the contrary, it is actually even better to get website visitors to have videos hosted on your own website, or at least to appear to be hosted on your own website, because then when people search for videos on Google, they will be displayed one result from YouTube and results from all other websites that offer videos corresponding to their search query, which might include your website as well. And this wouldn't be the case if you had to be the only video picked up from YouTube for a search query, or one of the few videos. Now that it's hosted on your home website, it's much easier to rank your videos on Google Video Search. And I can also now start playing with Tag Tester, which is great. So I can enable Tag Tester right away, create a new test group. So title test. Okay. And so now, as I have no history yet of visits to my website through Ezoic, they don't know yet my the titles of my web pages, so I have to enter them myself. So let's see how it works. Can I enter this URL? So I enter the full URL and I will see if I can test it. No, I cannot yet. But I can propose them a sitemap. So it can take up to 2 days. Okay, so I will have to submit sitemap. Okay, so I have to wait a little bit to be able to start picking up my pages, and I have a sitemap. So it's simply that they haven't found it yet. So let's wait a little bit, and in 2 days Ezoic will have picked up my sitemap and will let me use Tag Tester. So for now, it hasn't detected yet any page on my website because it's brand new, and again, it takes some time for the the data to be included in the Ezoic system and to be accessible. And this website again has just been integrated. But what we can do then, another thing very interesting is to so now I can enable the privacy policy of Ezoic. So instead of having my own privacy policy, which is a plugin that works okay, but it's not taking consideration well, the European privacy policy stuff, or the one in California, or the ones to come. And so here I just tell Ezoic where is my privacy policy. And here, just with the click of a button, I can enable a consent management pop-up that will work everywhere in the world, will be only displayed when necessary. So the one for Europe to European visitors, the one for California to Californian visitors. And if new regulations comes up, Ezoic will manage it on my behalf. I have nothing to do. So let's enable it. Of course, it's much better than having to manage myself plugins or anything. So let's auto detect language. I have okay, default language is English. My website is based in United States. I have no content intended for minor. Now CCPA for California. Let's enable it. Okay, let's enable it at the banner at the bottom. Perfect. And now GDPR for Europe. Let's use it. Enable on AMP. Yes, because I use AMP and I don't want to show the consent worldwide, only in Europe. And that's perfect. I can change the color if I want to. Yeah, so let's do that. So this is more or less the main color of my website. Background white black. Okay, save. And that's it. And now I have, if I reload my site, can I see it? Reload with Control R. No, not yet. Oh, I have a wrong URL. So no, not yet, but maybe because also I already have the cookie validated. Okay, so let's save again, or maybe I already had. Okay, and that's integrated. And I can also access the analytics as we saw in the previous video, but as the website is new, there is no analytics to see yet. Nothing very interesting. Finally, for content, this is not very important. And the last thing I can do, turn on Ezoic. Yes, even if I haven't set up placeholders yet, I am ready to use Ezoic as soon as possible. And because I'm already using it on other websites, I'm very satisfied. I have no doubt that it will be better for my website and for any website than only Google AdSense, that's for sure, and most likely than any other ads management system or technology. And the last thing we can do that is very nice is to activate CloudFlare. So you don't need to pay for CloudFlare. You don't need to, because you can activate it via Ezoic for free as long as your website, of course, is integrated on Ezoic. So let's activate it. I didn't have CloudFlare before to protect my website against web attacks or things like this, and I didn't have a CDN yet, a content delivery network. So all my pages were delivered from that specific web server that is still hosting my website. And now copies of my web pages are delivered to my visitors. They do not anymore request directly my web server, so my web server can take some holiday. And that's it. With one button, I integrated with CloudFlare for free, and I have nothing else to do. How can it be easier? Okay, and here you should always double check if you have an SSL certificate. So in my case, I have an SSL certificate. It's coming from Ezoic. Okay, perfect, with automatic renewal. If you don't have, or if you have your own, you should check here to edit the SSL setting. It's very important to have a good SSL setting to have your website here displayed as secure, which would not be the case if you did not have an SSL certificate. WordPress hosting. Okay, and that's all. The integration with Ezoic Leap is now complete. I'm not sure why it doesn't show as integrated with Ezoic Leap, but that's the case. So maybe just take some time to be visible in the system. But my website is set up. It is delivered by Ezoic, and it's much faster. Now that the website is fully integrated with Leap, which allows again to reach a higher score on Google Core Web Vitals. The next step will be to actually create placeholders on the website, advertisement placeholders, and to monetize the website using Ezoic. So the Ezoic technology, again, will pick the best highest paying ad from Google Ad Exchange partners, which includes AdSense among many other advertisement agencies, and with their technology they will optimize the advertisement on the website. So now the site is very fast. I hope this video was useful for you. If you have any question or comment, don't hesitate to write, to get in touch with me, to check the article link to this video, or if you are actually seeing the video in this article, to comment on this video. And if your website needs, or if you want your website to be faster, to be more efficient, to reach a broader audience, if you want to get more visitors and ultimately to make more money with your website, then please join Ezoic with the link again provided either below the video or on my website. Let me know if you do, and it will be a pleasure to welcome you on board, to help you get set up. Again, everything is free. If you don't like it at any time, you can simply, with one push of a button, stop using it at no cost, no issue. So the point here is to, on the long term, to both so you as a publisher and Ezoic as a technology company, to make reach more visitors and make more money and optimize your website and make the web a better place. So if you do join, please let me know. It will be a pleasure to welcome you on board. Otherwise, let's meet in the next video and see how to set up ad placeholders to increase website revenue.